The Yellow Turbans are the first DLC for Total War 3 Kingdoms, and is free for anyone who purchases the game in its first week of release. And as they'll be available on day 1, you may be tempted to try and take back ancient China for its people first. But the DLC itself is far better suited as post-game content. In this video, I'll talk about each of the Yellow Turban Warlords' unique playstyles, and then I'll go over how the Yellow Turban campaigns differ from the main campaign, and give some examples from my own playthroughs. For those who don't know, the Yellow Turban Rebellion was a peasant revolt against the Han Dynasty of China in 184 AD, and aimed to drive out the corruption of government through the principles of Taoism. Instead, it splintered the empire and led to the death of millions, and at the game's start in 190 AD, only a tiny pocket of the Taoist-focused leaders still survive. The Yellow Turbans are offered as a unique group in-game, and come with 3 new playable warlords, and each offer a campaign designed around a specific mechanic of Total War 3 Kingdoms. Gongdu, the Master of the Land, has increased movement range, and you get more loot from battles, so it's no surprise his playstyle wants you to quickly move around raiding and fighting.
The mightiest tree survives on its roots.
And his personal bonuses that give military supplies and more armor for spearmen help encourage this. His unique building is called Guerrilla Warfare, which further increases post-battle income and gives military supplies. You'll notice that all the Yellow Turban's special buildings double down on what each warlord is good at, and it's always rather obvious how you should play them. Gongdu also has an additional military stance called Liberate, which decreases public order in enemy territories and steals food from the local region. Though I suppose steal is the wrong word, as the idea is that people give food to willingly support his Robin Hood-esque lifestyle, as opposed to his army, forcibly taking it from them. Gongdu's unique starting unit is the Guardians of the Land, a heavy assault halberd infantry unit that has good armor and is a solid fighter in melee. And you'll notice I said starting unit, as each of the Yellow Turban warlords actually has access to these units in their skill trees, so they're not unique to the individual warlords like the rest of the 3 Kingdoms' unique units. Next up is He Yi, who I spent nearly 100 turns with.
Do not deviate. Do not compromise.
The renowned healer and leader of the people who specializes in faster army replenishment, and I do mean faster, like triple the normal speed, which doesn't sound like a big deal until you realize your armies are at full strength after a battle again in 2 turns instead of 6. So you basically form a tide of peasants to roll across the land and occupy anything you come across. He also uses population to decrease recruitment costs, though the results were pretty marginal in my early campaign with him. His unique healer building increases public order and population growth, both of which were central to my time with him, as initially there is a great deal of pushback to any Yellow Turban takeovers. You'll do this with a starting unit of Yuxia, heavy assault infantry, swordsmen with shields who also have guerrilla deployment. And with He Yi, you'll nearly always want to occupy settlements to encourage growth, as he has a unique option to occupy and treat the wounded, which further increases the growth of any captured locations and encourages commerce. Huang Shao, the wielder of the Heavenly Way, increases character experience and research rates, so your characters will level faster and you'll unlock technologies quicker. And as each technology node for the Yellow Turbans also gives you prestige points, it also means you'll climb the ladder of faction tiers faster. He starts with a unit of archery masters, which, as their name suggests, are a superior ranged unit. His unique gardens building further increases your research and increases character satisfaction, so your fast leveling generals will be less likely to leave your service as they rank up. Scholars in his employ also have a unique assignment, which allows a chance of finding exceptional characters, defined here as a character with a legendary starting trait, and is critical to success in his campaign, as characters willing to join a Yellow Turban faction are always in short supply. This all encourages you to play as a tall faction, using your strong leaders to hold back your enemies as you out-research them. But this doesn't work particularly well for reasons I'll go into later. In-game, you'll find that the Yellow Turbans have a unique skill tree, divided into 3 scrolls: the Book of the Land, the Book of the People, and the Book of the Heavens. Each roughly correlates with a starting Yellow Turban warlord, and you'll notice that whichever one you started as already has a checkbox in the center of their scroll, which unlocks their unique starting unit and hints which one you should be playing with. Each scroll is divided into 4 tiers, which require you to research from the previous tier to unlock. Pretty standard Total War stuff. And at least in my playthrough, you could actually jump between scrolls with no penalty. If I unlock tier 3 on one scroll, I unlock it on them all. So in pretty short order, you'll have access to all the unique Yellow Turban starting units in tier 3. The Yellow Turban DLC also includes 3 new character classes: the Healer, Scholar, and Veteran, who combine 2 of the base 3 Kingdoms character types to do decently well at both, but suffer from the hybrid tax of classic World of Warcraft, never becoming as powerful as either of their 2 components. Scholars like Wang Xiao combine yellow commanders with purple sentinels for an especially tanky general who encourages troops and helps hold the line. Healers like He Yi are a combination of the red vanguards and green guardians, so you can throw them at whatever you want to kill quickly, which doesn't sound very much like a healer to me, but hey, what do I know. Veterans like Gong Du are one of the most useful of the bunch, blue strategists combined with green guardians, so it's a frontline battle strategist who can also duel opponents. And unlike every other faction which strives to attain the rank of Emperor, the Yellow Turbans are actually trying to instill the Yellow Heaven Mandate, which gives the people the right to choose the Emperor that's best for them. But to do it, you'll have to eliminate all 3 kingdoms that spawn within the game, meaning that's 33% more emperors than the base game that you have to kill to actually be successful. And I can only imagine how the current Chinese video game review board will feel about a game that encourages peasant uprising to institute a democratic monarchy. But the reason I don't recommend a Yellow Turban army for your first play through 3 kingdoms is that several aspects of the diplomacy system are actually closed off to you. First off, you can't use spies, I guess because it's too dishonorable. You also start off with no diplomacy options. You can't make peace, no trade deals, nothing. Only after getting faction rank 3, which to be fair happens pretty quickly, can you begin talking to other factions, but by then it's largely too late. The only person I could convince to trade with me was Dong Zhuo, who lived to turn 70 in one campaign, surprisingly. And no diplomacy means that you miss out on a large chunk of the fun of the 3 kingdoms, the interpersonal contact between its warlords. And if you're thinking, oh that's okay, I'll just buddy up with the other Yellow Turbans, well, you're grossly underestimating the difficulty of their starts. In my 3 campaigns, only I was left after turn 30 on each of them. You basically start each campaign with a target on your back, and you really need some alliances to build tall, and this campaign doesn't give you that luxury, because everyone hates you and starts at war with you. The problem with tearing down the patriarchy is that they're also very unlikely to invite you to their country club to talk about your anarchist ideals. This also means that the only characters willing to join your faction are other Yellow Turbans, and thankfully when the other Yellow Turban warlords are eliminated, you can actually recruit them into your own campaign, but be prepared for a campaign as something of a loner, with few characters willing to join your faction. One way around this is that the Yellow Turbans have the same captain system as Yun Shao, so you can recruit elite captain units at low cost, but they won't gain character levels. In general, Yellow Turban troops had good morale and attack, but lack armor, focusing more on sheer numbers to overwhelm an enemy. In my Wang Zhao campaign, they warned that Liu Bei starts on your doorstep in the intro flyover, and Wang Zhao's bent on research and outstudying his opponent doesn't work particularly well against the 3 sworn brothers, one of whom is a literal god of war. The actual tooltip said all I had to do was just survive the duel for a minute and it would count as a win, but even that was too difficult. All of the Yellow Turban factions start as hard or very hard, and this game means it. You'll spend the first 50 turns trying to stabilize a handful of provinces, and you'll nearly always be surrounded and under the constant threat of invasion. And even when I did manage to defeat Liu Bei's army, Guan Yu reappeared again in the next turn, having somehow escaped the last battle. It was enough to make me give up and start again as He Yi, whose replenishment buff was a breath of fresh air after the constant onslaught of the last campaign. But even then it was no cakewalk. The north is so overcrowded with lords that you almost feel claustrophobic with the amount of powerful armies that surround you. And when Cao Cao invaded for the 5th time over a patch of small farmlands we've been fighting over since turn 1, I decided to cut him off and try and defend the settlement, thinking it was a unique gated map, but instead found it was a field battle, so I bravely offered my surrender, but Cao Cao was having none of it.
Take heed, warriors! The time has come!
Against the overwhelming might of Cao Cao, there just wasn't a whole much the Yellow Turbans could do. They were out-armored, outclassed, and basically out-armied. But I was determined that if I was going to lose my army, then I'd take as many of Cao Cao's men with me as I possibly could. As per the usual, I won't be commentating through the battles, because this is the best part of a Total War game.
Steel yourselves! Archers, attend! Fight my command! Archers, prepare! Stay your hands! Archers! Ready! Spearmen, attend! 10! Blade, prepare! Archers ready! Volley! Archers! Release!
Our hidden men have been seen!
Fire! Go! Go! Sword sharpened! Run! Release! Stand ready! Take heed, warriors! Move out quickly! Make ready! The time has come! Hurry! Sword sharpened! Fight! Destroy them! Unleash fury! Destroy them! Fight! Stand ready! Sword at the ready! Raise spears! Charge!
Cavalry! The enemy unit flees! What cowards!
You will fall! Make ready! Double time! To attention! Ready to ride! Run! Run! Move! Move out quickly! Still yourselves!
You are too pathetic to survive!
Your words are as pathetic as you are! Prepare! Run! Cavalry attend! Strike! Ready! Archers attend! Go on! Keep up! I know you can do it!
Amazing that you can both talk and battle!
Fire upon them! Take heed, warriors! Mounted soldiers! Show no mercy! Kill them! Bowmen, stand ready! Strike your targets! March in the double! Attack! Prepare!
Our warriors run! Craven dogs!
Attend! Move, move! Do not relent! Arrow!
Come on! Surely you can do better!
Oh, how witty! How very witty!
Go, go, go! The time has come! Ready! To battle! Dogs are ready! Hurry! Move!
Our
Faster!
warriors run! Craven dogs!
Move out quickly! Stand ready! Move! Attack! Hurry! Move! Double time! Run! Shoot! Cavalry! Show no mercy! Cavalry mount up! Make ready!
Our men are running! The spineless cowards!
To attention, archers! Faster! To attention! Kill them! Run!
Move, move! Strike!
Steel yourselves! At the ready! Move, move!
Archers ready! Our warriors run! Craven dogs!
Locked and ready! Double time! Swords! Blades! Swords sharpened! Kill them! Blades prepare! Attack! March at the double! Hurry, move! Ready! To battle! Take heed, warriors! Advance!
The enemy general is fallen. They were no match. At the ready! Move, move! Destroy them! To attention!
Swords at the ready! Ready! Swordsman!
We are being pushed back!
Stand ready! Ready, bolts! Run!
Prepare!
Move! Horses! Charge! Go, go, go! Fight! Steel yourselves!
Swordsman, ready!
At the ready! Blades! Do not relent!
Bows! Fire upon them!
A unit has perished! None are left!
To attention! Strike!
And if you're wondering the kind of impact heroes have on this game, this is when Shihao challenges me to a duel I can't possibly win, and by rejecting it, I get an instant negative buff to morale.
March quickly! Cavalry, stand ready! Hurry! With speed! Cavalrymen! March in the double!
Archers, attend! Let fly!
Horses, stand ready! Move! Horsemen! Double time! Move out quickly! Run! Destroy them!
The time has come!
March in the double!
To attention!
Attend! Run! Run! To battle!
Oh, and for anyone wondering, yes, there actually is horse armor in this game, and it looks pretty good.
Take heed, warriors!
Run! Run! Charge! Attend!
Faster! Archers, prepare! Show no mercy! Charge! Bowmen! Bowmen, stand ready! Our men are running! The spiteless cowards!
The time has come! Fight!
In the end, I turned a crushing defeat into a heroic defeat, and one of my only 2 armies were wiped out in a single battle. And without strong trade allies and being hemmed into small provinces, it's really hard to get enough money to be able to recruit another force. So on the next turn, I moved the other half of my Yellow Turban armies in and wiped that smug grin off Cao Cao's face. And when Shihao refused to join me, I executed him. And when his strategist refused to bend to the will of the people, I executed her too. Because screw them and their high horses, that's why. Because if you're not for the Yellow Turbans, you're against them. All this stacks up to make a devilishly tricky experience, very unlike anything else in Total War 3 Kingdoms, and hopefully you can see why this is a campaign that should be experienced, but only after completing one of the base factions first, as it's made to exploit and manipulate certain key mechanics in the base game. And that's everything you need to know about the Yellow Turbans DLC for Total War 3 Kingdoms, which comes out on May 23rd. Thanks for watching.